somebody who challenged me to make a response in under 15 minutes. So I shall give it my best shout. Now the question was owner operating. What do I think to it, and would I do it? In Canada, in the States, yes, I probably would, or at least I'd try to. But in the UK, no, I wouldn't. Especially now that there's been the Brexit thing going on. Whatever you want to refer to it as, the debacle, the greatest moment in British life, whatever the hell you want to refer to it as, it doesn't really matter. But the thing is, the issue with owner-operators is you are competing with people like Stobart. Now, yes, you can get contracts with people like Wincanton and things like that to run containers, and they pay you a competitive amount of money, a competitive salary or whatever you want. But the thing is, once you take away your running costs and things like that, you're not going to earn that much money. The only real way to earn money as an owner-operator, and I've been told this by a couple of owner-operators, is to spend most of your time going across Europe, literally. You just take on all the runs you can, the furthest ones possible. You rake the money in like that, rank up the miles, rake the money in, and only ever fill up in the cheapest countries you can. So you've got to have the proper large secondary tanks as well, so you can do it all. Now, the issue with competing with the big boys, just to put it into perspective for everybody who might think, well, if I get a truck, I can get a contract running containers at a Felixstowe. Well, to put it into context, if you want to compete with the big boys, you are going to be buying one truck. Okay, one. That's it. You are going to be paying the full recommended retail price for that truck, whether it's second-hand or new. You are going to be paying the full price for it. You're only buying one. Somebody like Eddie Stobart, they don't just buy one truck, they buy 100 or 200 at a time. They get serious discounts on it. And so when they factor in the cost of their truck against their load, against the fuel and everything else like that, like you will have to, they're already ahead of you by a long way. And then of course they'll be buying fuel in such volume that a few of their sites will probably have fuel tanks on them. A bit like the sites I run out of, you fill up on site, you don't fill up out on the road. Again, they're buying their fuel in bulk, they're not paying the pump price, they're paying a reduced price because of the quantity of fuel they're buying, and so on and so forth. Now you can get your fuel cards, but it will never equate to what they're saving. And again with tyres, you're going to buy one, maybe two tyres every so often when you need them. That's not what Eddie Stobart and companies like Eddie Stobart do. They're buying tyres in bulk. They're buying tyres, lots and lots of tyres at the same time. They're working in partnership with other tyre providers. They're getting major discounts everywhere. And then you've got to think about, you need an O license. You've got to have land, a site that you can hold an O license on to store your vehicle on, because you can't exactly park it on your driveway. Of course, you've got to have the rent on that land, whatever it may be. Maybe you'll share it, shared usership land or things like that. You still got to have it. Stobie, on the other hand, they've got their warehouses, they've got their sites, 200-300 trucks on a site, O license to cover all of them. So the rental is not split between one truck, it's split between all the trucks. So it brings down that per truck price. Remember, you're not competing with Eddie's fleet, you are competing with one of Eddie's trucks, if that makes sense. But the issue is, one of Eddie's trucks, its costs are spread across an entire fleet. So it's kind of a double whammy really, because they can run one truck far cheaper than you can, so they can already undercut you on the products. Now think about it from the client's perspective. You're a lone ranger, so to speak. So you go up, you're phoning this person or that person. Yeah, I can run that load for you. Yeah, not a problem, lovely jubbly. Stobie comes along, says exactly the same damn thing. Now, Stobart has trains, planes, trucks, everything. They work in partnership with so many different companies. They virtually have their own in-house VMU specialists. If one of their trucks breaks down and they phone Scani and say, look, one of my trucks has broken down, Scani's going to be out to that truck in minutes, because that contract is worth a huge amount of money. Whereas if your Scani breaks down, then they're not going to be out to you very quickly. The simple fact is that you're not worth a lot of money to them. If you don't buy Scani again, oh, boo-hoo, what a shame. If Stobart don't buy Scani again, that could almost signal the death nail for Scani pulling out of the UK, let's be fair. And of course, clients are going to know this. They're going to know that if Stobie breaks down, they've got umpteen dozen trucks. That load is getting to their destination pretty close to the time it needs to get there. Whereas you, on your own, if you break down, who's going to take the load over? No one. You've got to wait to be repaired. That could be a day, 2 days. If you've got a perishable load, guess what? And again, insurance. Stobie, they're big enough. They can self-insure. You can't. So the reality of running a truck on your own in this country, Stobie won't really want to work in partnership with you. They don't need to. Now, I'm an agency guy. If you want the freedom of being your own boss, of being self-employed, then be an agency guy. Drive somebody else's rig. Don't have that concern. Don't worry about that cost. That's somebody else's headache. But I'm still self-employed, and all I'm getting at the end of each week is a paycheck. That's it. You know, I can choose what I'm going to put to one side. I can choose what I'm going to do. I can choose whether I want that week off or the other week off. I don't have to worry about it. I just say I'm unavailable. So I get all the benefit of being self-employed, but without the headache of running a vehicle. And the thing is, I work with a lot of people who used to have small little haulage companies. They had their truck and then they got a couple of other trucks, that kind of thing, and they all gave up. They all went agency. Some of them have gone company guys since then. A lot of them are still agency, and they're like, it's just too much of a headache. It's just too expensive. It's too badly paid. For example, I could do, for argument's sake, 800 quid in a week. An owner-operator running, say, containers or whatever he can find in this country, making phone calls here, there and everywhere. After all his stoppages, yes, he might have had £2,000 or £3,000 come in, but after all his stoppages, his fuel, his tyres, his insurance, his tax, his servicing costs, his absolutely everything, he's only doing about 400 or 500 quid in that week. And I've been told that by people who've done it. Now, in Canada and the States, you might be thinking, well, it's going to be the same over there. But what a lot of you guys who watch me watch Trucker Josh. Now, I know he's been exceptionally careful never to mention the company he drives for. Fine, excellent. But the company he drives for gave him a contract when he went owner-operator. Most large companies over in Canada and the States employ owner-operators, because it saves them on a lot of pensionable contributions, sick pay, holiday pay, stuff like that. If you think about agency in this country, in Canada and the States, that's kind of how they run their owner-operators. Instead of being an agency, you just become an owner-operator, and then a large company, whoever that may be, I'm not going to mention any, but whoever that may be, offers owner-operators, you work in partnership with us, we'll provide you with the loads, this, that, the other, and you get paid a relatively competitive salary. But even so, Josh is thinking about just staying company guy, and he's run his own rig. And Josh has multiple streams of income now, doesn't he? He's got his YouTube stuff, anything he might earn through advertising from that. He's got, obviously, if he had his own vehicle and he was still running that, he'd have the money coming in from that one. He's got his little online store, and God knows what else he's doing in the background. And even he is thinking very seriously, I don't know whether he has yet, I haven't seen anything like that, but then I haven't really been keeping up with the vlogs, to be fair, about selling his vehicle and just, you know, sod it, I'll just stay a company guy, less headache, less hassle. So, to be fair, my personal opinions on all of this are pretty simple, and that is, no, don't do owner-operators, not in this country, not in this country. If you really want self-employment, be self-employed, limited company, agency guy. Otherwise, work for somebody. But owner-op, you're just gonna bankrupt yourself. But anyway, hopefully that's covered it and stuck within my time frame. Soon find out, won't I? But anyway, cheers for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do, and I'll see you in the next one.